What if you could build a system that doesn't just answer your questions, but actually goes out, takes actions, browses the web, writes code, sends emails, and completes entire tasks on your behalf, automatically, without you lifting a finger? That's not science fiction. That's an AI agent. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to build one from scratch. If this kind of content is useful to you, hit that like button right now. Drop a comment telling me what you want to build with your first AI agent, and subscribe so you never miss a video like this. It takes 2 seconds, and it means everything. Let's start with a question that most people get wrong. What is the difference between a regular AI chatbot and an AI agent? When you open ChatGPT or Claude and ask a question, you get an answer. That's it. One input, one output. The AI is reactive. It waits for you, responds, and stops. An AI agent is completely different. An agent has a goal, and it keeps working, thinking, deciding, taking actions, checking results, and adjusting until that goal is achieved. It doesn't stop after one response. It loops. Think of it this way. A chatbot is like asking someone a question. An agent is like hiring someone to do a job. Now here's where it gets interesting, and this is the part most tutorials skip over. An AI agent is built on 4 core components. Every agent, no matter how simple or complex, has these 4 things. Miss one, and your agent won't work. The first component is the brain, the large language model. This is the engine. GPT-4, Claude, Gemini, Llama, any of these can act as the reasoning core of your agent. The LLM reads the situation, decides what to do next, and generates instructions. But on its own, it can't do anything in the real world. It can only think. The second component is memory. This is how your agent remembers what it has done and what it still needs to do. There are 2 types. Short-term memory lives inside the context window. It's the conversation history your agent keeps track of in a single session. Long-term memory is stored externally, in a database, a vector store like Pinecone or ChromaDB, and lets your agent remember things across sessions. Without memory, your agent forgets everything after every step. It's like trying to complete a task while losing your memory every 30 seconds. The third component is tools. This is where things get powerful. Tools are the hands of your agent. Without tools, the LLM can only output text. With tools, it can search the web, run Python code, read and write files, call APIs, send emails, interact with databases. You define the tools, and the LLM decides when and how to use them. This is what makes an agent actually useful. The fourth component is the execution loop. This is the logic that holds everything together. The agent receives a goal, thinks about what to do, takes an action using a tool, observes the result, and then thinks again. This cycle of observe, think, act repeats until the task is complete. This loop is what separates an agent from a regular chatbot. Now let's talk about the planning architecture, because this is where most beginners get stuck, and understanding it will put you ahead of 90% of people building agents today. There's a design pattern called REACT, short for reasoning and acting. It was introduced in a research paper, and it has become the foundation of almost every modern AI agent framework. The idea is simple. Before taking any action, the agent reasons out loud. It thinks through the problem step by step, decides what tool to use and why, uses the tool, reads the output, and then reasons again. This back and forth between thinking and acting is what makes agents reliable. Here's an example. You give an agent this task. Research the top 5 AI tools released this month and write a summary report. A simple chatbot would try to answer from memory and probably get it wrong or make things up. An agent using React would do this. First, it reasons, I need current information. I should search the web. Then it acts. It calls the web search tool with a specific query. Then it observes the result. Then it reasons again. I have 3 results. I need more. Let me refine my search. It acts again. It observes again. Eventually, it has enough data. It reasons one more time. Now I have what I need. I'll write the report, and it produces the final output. That whole process happened automatically. You just gave it a goal. Now let's get practical. How do you actually build this? You have two paths. Path 1 is using a framework. Frameworks like LangChain, Llama Index, Crew AI, and AutoGen give you pre-built components, memory modules, tool integrations, agent loops, so you can assemble an agent quickly without building everything from scratch. LangChain is the most popular. Crew AI is excellent for multi-agent systems, where multiple agents work together as a team. AutoGen from Microsoft is great for agents that write and execute code. The path to building from scratch: you write the loop yourself, connect directly to an LLM API, define your own tools as functions, and manage memory manually. This gives you full control and a much deeper understanding of what's happening under the hood. It's harder, but worth it if you want to build production systems. For learning, start with a framework. For production, consider going lower level. Here's the part that nobody talks about, and it's the reason most agent projects fail. Tool design. Your agent is only as good as the tools you give it. Bad tools lead to bad agents. Every tool you define needs three things: a clear name, a precise description that tells the LLM exactly what the tool does and when to use it, and well-defined input parameters. If your tool description is vague, the LLM won't know when to use it. If your tool does too many things, the LLM will use it incorrectly. If your tool has no error handling, one failure will break the entire agent loop. The best tools do one thing, do it well, and return clean, structured output that the LLM can easily read and reason about. Let's talk about memory in more depth, because this is where advanced agents separate themselves from basic ones. Most beginners build agents with only short-term memory. The agent works within a single session, then forgets everything. That's fine for simple tasks, but for anything complex, a research assistant, a personal productivity agent, a customer service bot, you need long-term memory. Long-term memory works by storing information in a vector database. When your agent needs to remember something, it converts that information into a numerical representation called an embedding and stores it. Later, when the agent needs to recall something relevant, it searches the database using semantic similarity, meaning it finds information that is conceptually related, not just keyword matched. This is what allows an agent to say, "Last week you asked me to track competitor pricing. Here's what I found, and here's how it's changed since then." That kind of continuity is what makes an agent feel intelligent, not just automated. Now, and this is the part most tutorials end before reaching: how do you make an agent that actually works reliably in the real world? 3 principles. First, always give your agent a way to ask for clarification. If the goal is ambiguous, a good agent should ask a targeted question before charging ahead and doing the wrong thing. This sounds simple. Almost nobody implements it. Second, build in failure recovery. Tools fail. APIs go down. Web searches return garbage. Your agent loop needs to detect when something has gone wrong and decide whether to retry, use a different tool, or report the failure to the user. Without this, your agent will silently fail and you won't know why. Third, set a maximum number of steps. An agent that loops forever is dangerous and expensive. Always define a hard limit on how many reasoning action cycles the agent can run before it stops and reports back. This prevents infinite loops and runaway API costs. Let's bring this all together with a real example. Imagine you want to build a research agent. Here's exactly how you would structure it. The goal: given a topic, research it thoroughly and produce a structured report. The tools: a web search tool, a web page reader tool that can extract clean text from URLs, and a file writing tool to save the final report. The memory: short-term memory within the session to track what has been searched and what has been found. Long-term memory optional for recurring research tasks. The loop: the agent receives the topic, reasons about what to search for, searches, reads the results, identifies gaps, searches again, synthesizes everything, and writes the report. The stopping condition is either the agent decides it has enough information or it hits the maximum step limit. That's a complete agent.
and you can build it today with free tools in an afternoon. Here is the final thing, and this is what will define whether you actually build something great or just follow a tutorial and forget it. The agents that change people's lives are not the most complex ones. They're the ones that solve one specific, painful, repetitive problem really well. Start small. Pick one task you do every week that is boring and repetitive. Build an agent for that. Get it working, then expand. Every expert agent builder started by automating embarrassingly simple. The complexity comes later. The clarity has to come first. Now you know how AI agents work, what they're made of, how to design them, and what separates the ones that actually work from the ones that don't. The only thing left is to build one.